Why is Europe turning to Canada for energy and green technology? In an unexpected shift in energy policy, Europe is increasingly turning to Canada for its natural gas and green energy needs. Why is Europe choosing Canada over the United States, especially when the U.S. has long been a key supplier of energy? How does this shift impact the broader geopolitical and economic landscape? Let's delve into the factors behind this surprising move and the potential consequences for both. Europe and the United States. The energy crisis and the decline of Russian gas energy crisis that began with the Russia-Ukraine war has had global ramifications. Europe, in particular, found itself in a precarious position as it sought to reduce its dependency on Russian natural gas. For a time, the United States appeared to be the solution. American liquefied natural gas (LNG) exports became a critical part of Europe's energy supply strategy. However, this reliance on U.S. natural gas was not without its problems. As American LNG prices soared, European consumers and political leaders began to feel the strain. Not only were the prices high, but there was also growing frustration, with the perception that the United States was using its energy exports as a political tool. This perception of the U.S. leveraging energy for political gain led European leaders to reconsider their options. The appeal of Canada's energy reserves. The price of American LNG continued to climb. Europe's search for alternative energy sources turned to Canada. Known for its massive reserves of oil and natural gas, Canada presented a more attractive option. But it wasn't just Canada's energy reserves that caught Europe's attention. Canada's commitment to environmental protection and green energy transformation also played a significant role. The Canadian government has made substantial investments in renewable energy sources, including hydroelectricity, wind, and solar power, making the country an appealing partner for Europe's green energy goals. Canada has also demonstrated an increasing focus on developing LNG export infrastructure, though the country has not yet built the necessary infrastructure for large-scale LNG exports. Billions of dollars in investment are underway. European countries facing the pressures of an ongoing energy crisis are beginning to turn to Canada for their long-term energy needs, particularly if Canada's LNG exports become more reliable and competitive. Canada's green credentials and geopolitical appeal, addition to its energy resources, Canada's image as a stable, predictable, environmentally conscious partner has made it more attractive to European countries, while the United States has been grappling with domestic political tensions, protectionist rhetoric, and a somewhat troubled image on environmental issues. Canada has maintained a more moderate and conciliatory stance. This has helped Canada position itself as a less controversial alternative to the United States, especially in light of Europe's green energy transformation and carbon neutrality goals. The European Union has committed to ambitious green energy targets aiming to achieve carbon neutrality by 2050. As part of this transformation, Europe is accelerating its shift toward electrification, particularly in the automotive sector. With the transition to electric vehicles, EVs gathering pace, Canada's rich reserves of critical minerals like lithium, nickel, and cobalt, essential for battery production, have become increasingly important. European manufacturers, including those from Germany, France, and Scandinavian countries, have begun to make long-term supply chain agreements with Canada to secure the raw materials needed for their EV production. The U.S. response: a disruptive shift in global competition. Growing preference for Canada over the United States is a serious blow to American energy giants. Europe has long been a crucial market for American LNG exports, providing substantial revenue. However, the increasing shift to Canadian energy sources threatens to erode the market share of American energy companies. Additionally, as European countries turn to Canada for their critical minerals, the U.S. risks losing out on investments that could have fueled its own energy and automotive sectors. For the United States, this shift is particularly concerning because it represents a weakening of its geopolitical power in Europe. The U.S. has long used its energy exports as a tool for global influence. But this strategy may be losing its effectiveness as Europe looks for more stable and environmentally friendly alternatives. The political climate in the U.S. has only added to this challenge. The Trump administration's America First approach led to tensions with European allies. And while the Biden administration has worked to rebuild those relationships, protectionist policies and the ongoing political divisions in Washington have continued to strain transatlantic relations, Canada's diplomatic and economic opportunity, while the United States struggles with domestic political issues and increasing protectionism. Canada is seizing the opportunity to strengthen its position in the global energy and green technology markets. Although Canada has yet to fully develop the infrastructure needed for massive LNG exports, it is investing heavily to close that gap. In the coming years, Canadian LNG exports could become a major part of Europe's energy supply, providing a more stable and cooperative alternative to U.S. energy. In addition to LNG, Canada's vast reserves of critical minerals essential for green technologies such as electric vehicles and green hydrogen are becoming increasingly valuable to European manufacturers. The European Union's push for carbon neutrality and the rapid growth of the electric vehicle market have made Canada a key partner in securing these vital resources. With its lower political risk and more stable regulatory environment, Canada is quickly becoming the preferred destination for European investment in the energy and automotive sectors, a changing landscape for U.S. energy and automotive industry's growing shift toward Canada could have significant long-term consequences for American energy and automotive industries. As European countries sign long-term contracts for Canadian LNG and critical minerals, the revenue streams for American companies could be substantially reduced. Furthermore, the continued growth of the electric vehicle market, along with Europe's commitment to banning internal combustion engine vehicles by 2035, poses a threat to American oil and gas companies that are heavily invested in fossil fuels. If Europe continues to deepen its partnership with Canada, especially in the fields of green hydrogen, lithium batteries, and electric vehicle technologies, American companies may find themselves at a disadvantage in the global marketplace. The automotive industry, in particular, could face significant challenges as European manufacturers shift their supply chains toward Canada, potentially leaving American carmakers with fewer opportunities in the European market. Conclusion: A new era of energy and trade ropes shift toward Canada for energy and green technology is a reflection of broader global trends. As the world grapples with the effects of climate change and the ongoing energy crisis, countries are increasingly looking to partners who align with their green energy goals and offer stable, predictable relationships. While the United States may have once been the dominant player in the global energy market, the growing importance of environmental concerns, coupled with political tensions, is driving Europe to explore new avenues of cooperation. For Canada, this represents a significant opportunity to strengthen its position as a global energy and technology leader. With its vast energy resources, commitment to environmental protection, and diplomatic approach to international relations, Canada is poised to become a key partner for Europe in the transition to a more sustainable future. As the world continues to evolve, it's clear that the energy and geopolitical dynamics are shifting. The question now is, how will the United States respond to this changing landscape, and can it regain its position as a dominant force in global energy and trade?